Really, really proud of our guys for how we played today. I thought we did a really good job defensively in the second half. Hankerson got going for him in the first half, had 15 points. And so we tried to take the ball out of his hands in ball screens. And I thought our guys did a really good job of executing that. Maybe since I've been here, it's the best job we did of sharing the basketball. 26 assists on 30 field goals is pretty incredible. So really, really proud of that and seeing our guys genuinely excited for each other when guys had success. So it was another good step for us. Obviously, we have to continue to get better. We have a long road to go. Next week will provide a different challenge for us as we get ready to head on the road and playing against another Power 5 team, a team that's undefeated, a team that scored a lot of points in their first 2 games. And so we got to get rested up and start getting prepared for the next challenge.
Jeff, in the first 10 minutes of the second half, I think they only had 3 field goals. It seemed like you kind of extended the defense. Is that something you wanted to do to try to make them uncomfortable?
Yeah, we did. We knew coming in that they had turned the ball over, a little bit in their first 2 games, and they were without one of their, better guards in Cochran. And so we wanted to do that. The main thing we wanted to do was to get the ball out of Hankerson's hands. He had 15 points in the first half, and so we just every time they put him in a ball screen, we wanted to blitz him. And our guys did a good job of executing it. And the thing we've constantly talked about is that a ball, when you're defending a ball screen, it's all 5 guys. It's not just the 2 guys in the ball screen. And I thought our guys did a good job of that, and then we were able to capitalize off of the turnovers.
Jeff, what could this mean from a confidence standpoint from, shooting wise?
Yeah, it was good to see the ball go through the basket. It's interesting. Probably about a week before the first game, if you looked at our numbers all throughout practice, we had shot the ball really, really well, especially Ithiel. Ithiel, Xavier, and Aldis had really, really shot the ball well from beyond the arc, and that's something we chart every day in practice. The week leading up to the first game, Ithiel's numbers started to dip. And I really think a big part of it was nerves. I think he wants to do well so badly, and he's such a good kid, and he's been waiting and waiting for over a year for this opportunity. And I think you're starting to see him to get more comfortable out there on the court. The thing I'm most proud of with him is not the fact that he made shots, 5 for 10 from 3, but he had 4 assists and 1 turnover, and so I think you're starting to see a comfort level. And if we can get him shooting the basketball, like I know that he can and his teammates know that he can, that opens up a lot of stuff for us.
Jeff, what did you see in this matchup tonight that you thought would be more favorable to putting Terrell Brown in? I know that he didn't play the last game, but what did you see tonight where you thought that he can make an impact?
Well, again, everything is determined by what guys do in practice, what we see in practice. Are you competing? As we're putting together a game plan, can you follow the game plan? Can you do the things that we deem are very, very important for us for each particular game? Obviously, if you can rebound the basketball, if you can defend as a big, if you can defend the basketball, if you can defend the ball screen, if you can protect our paint, if you can ball screen and rim run hard, if you can finish when you get the ball inside, if you know our stuff, those are all the things that go into it. And there's competition in practice. And so, again, Terrell's an important part of our team. And, he has to be ready. He's had a really good attitude. It may be the last game where he didn't play during his time here. At least around me, he didn't hang his head. He came back. He had a good attitude in practice, and he worked. And he's a guy that we're going to need. He has experience. He's had some really good moments here, and we're going to need that as we go forward.
Jeff, you scored 33 points off turnovers. It wasn't necessarily a ton of fast break stuff. What did you like about your offense in those possessions where you that came immediately after you got a stop on defense?
Well, we moved the ball. That's one of the things we did. We shared the basketball. The ball didn't stick. We moved it. It's something we've tried to talk about. We've watched it a lot on film, especially in transition. If you get the thing moving, especially, with our speed, Xavier can really push it. That's why we have to have a big always in there that runs, because it flattens the defense out. And then if you get the ball moving from there, you can force teams to start to play in closeouts. And I thought we did a really good job of sharing the basketball and moving. And obviously, if you make shots, that makes everything better.
On Thursday, you said you wanted to see a little bit more from your defensive rebounding. What did you see from that tonight?
Again, it was better. Everything was better. Again, I think our team is starting to become more comfortable. We're starting to figure some things out. I mean, as I go back and I especially think about that first game, I mean, it was so weird. It was weird for me. It was eerie. I can't imagine for an 18-year-old to 21, 22-year-old. And I just think we're starting to become a little bit more comfortable. I think we're starting to gain a little bit more confidence. I think we're starting to understand each other a little bit more in competition, and things like that. I mean, but it's not, everything's not fixed right now. Today was a good day. We got to get back and get back on the horse and keep working.
What are the biggest ways that you see that you're talking about the increased comfort there? What are the biggest ways as a coach, even beyond stats, that you see it in practice and games?
The reads that guys are making, being able to carry over some things that we've talked about in film, that we've talked about on the court, that we've tried to teach, and to see it. We push it in transition, if we swing it, and all of a sudden now you have the defense playing in closeouts. We had some really good post passes today. That's something that we've struggled with in practice. It's something we've really tried to work on. We've tried to do some different things, breakdown. The ball screen defense, when we went to blitz in the ball screen, to trap in number one, our guys executing that, being able to execute that. The guys off the ball, being able to get deflections to anticipate. All of those things show, to me, signs of growth.
Jeff, you talked about the assists, and I noticed that was something you guys had been talking about all practice, was that extra pass and unselfishness. Do you feel like that's something that maybe you talked about guys panicking, maybe the kind of wasn't in their heads as much as it needed to be in the first two games?
Well, I thought it was there in the second game. I thought we did a better job in the second game. I think in the first game, I think everyone was just shook. And part of it was that St. Francis punched us in the mouth. That's what it was. And sometimes when that happens, you have, especially veteran guys, that, you want to change it so bad. And sometimes you can get ahead of yourself. You can go a little bit too fast. I think we've done a much better job in the last two games of trusting each other, of allowing plays to happen instead of feeling like we have to just make a play.
Justin, was the three-point shooting that you guys showed as a team tonight something that you'd seen in practice before and expected to come eventually?
Actually, I think it was more like these had us going. Like for the first couple of games, like he's been knocking down his threes, and we all felt like we're leaving him out to dry. Like he can't carry the whole burden of the team, so we got to pick it up. We just got in the gym, started putting up shots, and everything's coming together now.
Justin, as a teammate, how much did you see Ithiel pressing, and how good do you feel for him to have a game like this?
Oh, it's amazing to see him have a game like that because, I've known Ithiel since before I even committed to Pitt, and I know what he's capable of. So to see him come out here and do that, it's a bright spot for the team and a bright spot for him as well.
As a teammate, of Ithiel's, Justin, how much did you notice him kind of putting pressure on himself and maybe trying to strive a little bit too much for perfection, in the first two games and in the weeks leading up to the season?
Yeah, I see it a lot with Ithiel. Ithiel likes to be like a perfectionist. Like he don't like to mess up. He don't want to make a mistake, get a turnover, and then when he does, he lets it drag on for plays and plays and plays. And I had some of those problems last year, and I just try to tell him everybody's gonna make mistakes. LeBron James makes mistakes, and he's the best player in the world. So just play a game and keep going and shoot your shots. And that's what he did tonight. He came out here and had a great game.
Justin, speaking of your teammates, first of all, how nice was it to be able to get a little bit of a break early there late in the second half? And, we saw some good energy from you and the rest of the starters. How important is it for you guys to show that energy from the bench for the guys who are on the court there late?
I think it's a must, Those guys come to practice every day just like us. They work hard. They bust their behinds every day. They push us. They make us better. So, it's a great feeling seeing them get in the game and a lot of them score and get their first collegiate bucket. So, it just meant a lot to us. We were happy for them. So.
Justin, how fun was it? You guys had 30 baskets and 26 assists. How fun is it when the offense is clicking and everyone's kind of sharing the ball?
Oh, it makes the game that much more fun, That all starts with defense, though. We got to pick it up on the defensive end to get to the offense, But it's fun to play basketball like that where everybody's getting some and everybody's playing well. And nobody can really say, like, oh, we know somebody got looked off, We're just sharing the ball as a team and playing as a team. It's just a great feeling.
Justin, what do you attribute to getting you guys going? Because, sometimes you guys showed like you were maybe struggling, but then as soon as a couple of things work your way, you guys start passing the ball more, feeling each other where you're at. What do you think is like the catalyst in those moments when you guys get on one of those runs?
I honestly just think it's like we see one of our teammates make a shot, we just feel like we got to back them up. We got to help them. We can't leave our brother out there to dry. We got to pick up our own game and help the team more. So I think that's really what it is.
Justin, what gives you the most satisfaction, a 3-point shot or one of those follow slams?
I would say the slam. Not everybody could do that. But that probably gives me the most satisfaction.
The slam?
Yeah, definitely the slam. Definitely.
Justin, you were in these guys' shoes just last year. Do you feel like the freshmen are starting to get into a rhythm and you guys are starting to figure out their games as well?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Like we see a lot in practice. We try to, like us older guys, me, D's, X. We try to speak to the freshmen, especially Will, because he's younger than everybody. But they still learn a lot. They got a lot to learn. But I'm seeing they're picking it up and they're starting to get into the gist of things and understand how this collegiate basketball stuff works out and stuff like that.
We had talked a little bit earlier with Coach Capel, and he was saying how much more comfortable this team seems compared to where you guys were going into the season opener, just how weird that game felt. As a player, how much more comfortable does this team seem, and where are the biggest areas that you notice that comfort the most?
The team is definitely way more comfortable than when we first started off. I think that's because, I'm going to keep saying, I think it's because of Dees. I think because, he worked on his game a lot this off season. He become a very big threat for us. So I feel like having multiple threats on the court at once, like me, X, and Dees all having great games, day in and day out, it makes it a lot easier on us, so we don't have to worry about one person's not doing well. We got to pick it up for them. I just feel like we're all playing all together. We're all playing good. So it makes it that much more easier to get in a rhythm and get in the flow.
Yeah, you guys have done this twice now. All of, I guess tonight was the third time. Is it any less weird playing in an empty gym now?
I never really cared if there was fans or no fans. I love to have fans, especially the zoo. It's a great atmosphere. But I used to play in the parks at home and whatnot. We never really had fans. We never had people just watching you in the park. So I'm used to it. But the team is starting to get used to it by now. We just always say we gotta bring the energy. We're our biggest fans. So that's what we've been doing. It's been working out so far.
Justin, you talked about the importance of defense leading to offense. You guys had forced 18 turnovers tonight. Second half, they shot, I think, in the 20s. What did you like about your defensive effort tonight?
I think that on ball screens with I forgot the kid's name, number 1. I think Kareem kind of got it going for us. We went to go trapping, and I think that was a big step up for us. I just feel like we played all around to be good defense together,
Ithiel, we had talked some with Coach Capel a little bit earlier, and he was saying that he had felt and seen it from you where it had been so long since you'd played in a game where it felt like you were putting pressure on yourself to kind of be perfect and make all of these shots. How much did you feel that pressure? How much did you put on yourself? And what today was different?
I try not to put a lot of pressure on myself coming into the season. But I mean, the first few games obviously showed that I put more pressure on myself than I thought. The difference today was just me actually believing I can actually play on this level and coming out here and making these shots that I can shoot.
During those first two games, I mean, you had talked about really realizing that you can play on this level. I mean, were there ever doubts at all, in those first two games?
Yeah. I mean, not the first two. I mean, I guess as a whole, the first two games are just, just a microcosm of the entire, doubt picture that I present in my head. But yeah, I mean, I guess the first two games I was definitely nervous and doubtful.
Ithiel, what do you think? Go ahead, Jim.
Ithiel, what was the message to you from your teammates and from Jeff? I mean, was it just, you're a shooter, keep shooting? Was that kind of the message?
Yeah, pretty much. Just keep shooting. I mean, you're a shooter. Pliz sent me a podcast from I think it was Coach K and JJ Redick, and I listened to that podcast. That definitely helped me, kind of get over that barrier. But yeah, just keep shooting the ball and just having confidence and believing that I've taken these shots already. I've made these shots already. What's different now? I'm just on a bigger stage.
Ithiel, what do you think this game does for you going forward?
I mean, it definitely propels me, but I mean, I think it propels our team as a whole, because now that we know that we can play with each other. I mean, the chemistry on the floor was definitely unfolding, obviously. So now we just got to harness that and put it in a bottle and just keep refining it. And when we go on the road to Northwestern, unleash it all on them.
What did those two guys say on that podcast, Ithiel, that really seemed to resonate with you?
I mean, just a confidence aspect of it. I mean, it was all pretty much just a confidence aspect. There were a lot of fine points here and there that resonated with me. I could go on and on with it, but I mean, it's overall just confidence. That was just the big picture.